There has never been a better time to learn the Rocket Loon Fireball attack than right now. The Fireball attack is hard countering all of the really popular meta bases that everybody is running in Legend League and War and in CWL. And so today I'm going to take a deep dive into every aspect of the attack and help you guys break it down so it's easy to understand. So by the end of this video, you guys will know how to do the Warden charge, launch the Fireball, what is the best target for the Fireball, what to do with your Warden afterwards, how to use your Siege Machine, your heroes, the Rocket Loons, the Royal Champion to 3-star every base, and you'll probably even get a super hot girlfriend by the end of this video. So let's dive in. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is identifying a base and finding out a place where we want to put our Warden. So when you're putting your Warden down, there's kind of two goals in mind that you're going to keep specifically. One, you either want to destroy or avoid the most annoying or difficult parts of the base to deal with your Warden, if that makes sense. So as far as the really hard things for your Warden to deal with, I think number one on that list is going to be the Clan Castle. The Clan Castle is always very annoying for the Warden to deal with. If you can just get rid of it at the start, great. If super minions pop out and destroy, like you have a split second to either invis or freeze or poison or something, or else they will take out your Warden. Ice Golems can stall your Warden up forever and cause you to time fell or be frozen up in the range of something like a Monolith where you're going to have to use way too many spells to keep him alive. Another couple of things that are really annoying for the Warden to deal with are the Monolith, the Fire Spitters, and the Town Hall. Now, the Town Hall, we're not taking enough tools in this army in order to one-shot it, so I'm not going to include that because it's going to, very rarely is it a goal in your mind to fireball the Town Hall because it's not going to go down and very likely will be healed back up by builder huts if they're in the area. So for this video, I'm not going to talk about taking out the Town Hall, but we do want to avoid the Town Hall because the Town Hall is very annoying because it's got such a long range now that if the Warden is stuck cleaning up these buildings the entire time, the Town Hall's firing at him, you're going to have to expend way too many spells and you're going to run out of them eventually, and it's going to be very difficult to keep your Warden alive. So almost always we're going to try and avoid the Town Hall with the Warden, but destroy these other targets that I've talked about. And because of that, on a base like this, we're going to be putting our Warden on this side over here because that's very far away from the Town Hall so that I don't really have to deal with that. But I can still get a fireball to land like on this builder hut here, which isn't going to get the fire spitters, but it does get all of the rest of this stuff here, right? So that's a great fireball. So now that we know what the targets are, we're going to talk a little bit about the Angry Jelly aspect of this attack. So yeah, if you load into a Legend League base, try and avoid the Town Hall if you can with your Warden, but try and fireball the CC most of all. But if you can get other buildings on your way to the Clan Castle, or if the Clan Castle is so isolated that it doesn't make sense to fireball the Clan Castle, you can always fireball a group of other defenses that are going to be hard for your Warden to deal with. Anyway, let's go ahead and I'm going to push play here. When you're using the Angry Jelly, you can tank a few buildings that are like point defenses, even an Expo if you want, but as soon as you get into the range of a hero, a ricochet cannon, a scatter shot, a multi-archer tower, I have a skeleton spell. Now, a well-placed and well-timed skeleton spell will save you like 3 spell space because you don't have to rage, you don't have to keep freezing, you don't have to keep invising. So a well-timed and well-placed skeleton spell will actually be much more efficient than any of those other spells at the beginning of this raid. It tanks and distracts so much, it's going to be worth its weight in gold. And you can sneak a headhunter in there because they're going to be distracted by the skeletons, right? So I sneak a headhunter in there. One trick. Now, becoming efficient with your spells is a big deal. If you can use a rocket balloon or 2 to help distract this multi-archer tower when he gets in range of that, that's much better than freezing this or raging your Warden because the spells are much more valuable to this army than the army is. So keep that in mind. Try and use army space to save spell space when you can. And I don't actually think I did a good job of that on this raid. Maybe I did. I don't remember exactly. This was just to kind of show you an example. Now, I don't like raging my Warden when he's got the Angry Jelly on him because I want him to have the Angry Jelly wear off so that he can eventually start targeting all of these trash buildings here, and then I can start invising these buildings, right, and get my fireball to land on this builder hut. So I don't want him to just fly through the defenses all raged up because then he's going to be walking all over the place and he might end up down over here And the fireball is going to be a little bit more difficult to get on the builder hut because now you've got all these buildings that you have to invis or destroy in advance too, right? Or on the opposite end. So I kind of want him to be near these trash buildings when the angry jelly wears off, which is exactly what happens here. And let me tell you right now, it's much, much better for you to be safe and place an extra invis just in case than it is to try and save the invis and hope that your fireball's closest building is this right here. So you're going to see me place an extra invis even on this wizard tower up here because I truly don't know whether the wizard tower is closer than the builder hut. It's a little bit hard to eyeball, right? So I'm going to be safe and I'm going to invis that just in case because I don't really know. And you'll see here, I'm like, I probably should just do it just in case. And we get a really, really good fireball. So this is kind of the start to the attack. This is going to be like part number 1 to the attack, the Angry Jelly Walk. Be efficient with your spells. Destroy the stuff that's really annoying for your Warden, excluding the Town Hall, because it just almost never makes sense to fireball the Town Hall. And avoid the Town Hall. Put him in a spot where he's not going to go to the Town Hall. Also, one other thing that I didn't mention, I really should really quickly, is while you're doing your Warden Walk, you will have noticed if you rewind it, I put a baby dragon right here to clear these little trash buildings because I want my Warden to go up this direction because I don't want him going towards the Town Hall. The Town Hall is a little bit more difficult to deal with the Warden, right? Because it just does so much damage at such a far range. But I will be talking about if you can't avoid that and your Warden does go to the Town Hall. So we will be talking about how to address that if that happens. But if you can help it, it's typically a good idea to stay away from the Town Hall with your Warden and let your heroes deal with that. Anyway, let's go ahead and, last thing really quickly, use maybe a couple of extra rocket loons or a baby dragon as the Angry Jelly wears off, just to make sure that your Warden's going up. So that's all away from the Town Hall. So not necessarily up, but away from the Town Hall. So let's go into part 2, which is going to be after you've launched the fireball, what to do with your heroes, your siege machine, and other things. So we're going to go into part 2 right after this. And then after I'm done with all of this tutorial, I'm going to take the attack live into Legend League, and I'm going to put all of this stuff that we're talking about into action live. So this will be a longer video, but I feel like when you guys can watch me do it live, it's going to help you retain the information better and kind of see how I do it live. And it's more helpful for you guys. So let's go to part 2. Yeah. All right, and we're actually going to start part 2 right where part 1 left off, which is going to be figuring out which direction your Warden's headed. Now, obviously, our Warden's headed up in this direction here. Right after you've launched your fireball, I'm going to erase this very quickly. It's a good idea to very quickly, scout this little area right up here that your Warden's heading into and just get a good idea of when you're going to need to use spells in order to keep him alive. Obviously, multi-archer towers, they're so scary if your Warden's the only thing that they're hitting. We've got the minion prince here also, and we've got a single inferno. So I know I'm going to have to pay attention to my Warden very soon, like almost immediately right now, right? So I can either freeze or invis him or just rage him up. I think when you need to start multitasking, raging him up is a better option because the rage lasts a lot longer than the invises or the freezes. And it allows him to quickly move through the base. So I know that if I rage him right now, like right here, he's going to be okay for about 15 seconds. And then the next scary thing after the rage wears off is going to be that multi-inferno. So it's a good idea to kind of scout ahead of your Warden and kind of get an idea of, okay, if I rage him here, I won't have to worry about him for like 10 or 15 seconds. And then you can start the smash part of the attack. Now, you're going to notice I have set a good funnel with my Warden right here. We're going to kind of ignore the scatter shot because we'll deal with that with the rocket loons. But what I'm going to do is the core of the base is always the most difficult aspect of this attack to tackle. And so I want my heroes, my king and my queen specifically, to get to the middle of the base where that rage tower is, the fire spitters, the town hall. And in order to do that, almost always with this attack, I'm going to use a siege machine or a siege barracks. And I'm going to put the siege barracks here, let it clear buildings for just a second. You can place the Yeti down right before the barracks drops so that the Yeti's tanking the ground expo or the ricochet cannon or something before the siege barracks does. And then I'm just going to put my king and my queen right on the other side of this funnel that my Warden has created as soon as he's far enough away to where he's not going to get drawn onto them, right? So king and queen here. This siege barracks is going to be responsible for clearing some of these buildings, and then my heroes are just going to head right to the middle of the base because I need them to get to the core. Again, the core is the scariest part of this base. The Warden's already dealt with part of it with the fireball, so I just need my heroes to tackle the rest. So let's go ahead and push play and kind of see how this works in live action. So you can see I rage my Warden kind of preemptively so that it allows me to be able to multitask and not worry about my Warden very much. So now that I know my Warden's raged, I know, okay, he's going to be safe for a little while. A raged up Warden's obviously going to wreck up minion prints, right? He can't out DPS that. I deal with that scatter shot with a couple of rocket loons. I think the king might head up there for just a second, but after that's down, he goes back towards the town hall. So not a huge deal there. And I get the sickest wall break of all time, which wasn't anticipated right there in the middle. But the king, earthquake boots, and spike ball obviously can clear and open up all of these walls so that I don't really need to. And again, since I was looking ahead of my Warden beforehand, I knew when I put my heroes down, I'm going to have to look back up to my Warden because the single Inferno is going to be up there, and I need to freeze it when it locks onto him or use a couple of rocket balloons to destroy that really quickly. So I was able to preemptively in my head decide I need to deal with that in advance, and so I'm going to pay attention when he gets up there a little bit closer. So knowing ahead of time that your Warden's going to be in trouble is going to save you a lot of multitasking troubles. And you can see I'm just using a couple of rocket loons to clear some of these extra buildings and stuff here. And part 3 of the attack is going to be using the Royal Champion and the rocket loons to kind of clear the rest of the base. And so after we've done our little SUI, is what we call it, I'm going to be looking at what is the most difficult part of the base for my Warden to deal with. I have another rage, and I'm actually going to rage him right now because there's a multi-arch tower and an expo. But other than that, the only other scary part of the base is right here. So I've got the rocket spear. So ideally, if you needed to use the Royal Champion, I would just use the rocket spear right here. It's going to take all 5 of these defenses down. Maybe not the scatter shot, but she's got the Phoenix on her and she'll get the queen and everything. And then it's an easy cleanup. But you guys will see, I actually ended up swagging my Royal Champion on this raid because I didn't really need her. So I'm going to just speed through the rest of this attack. We're going to break down a couple more bases like this because not every base is like this. We've got some invis bases with a giant clumped up core. That's another really, really common style base. But yeah, the meta right now is just compact everything together with an invis or a rage because you want to kill the root riders or the dragons as quickly as possible. But that's what makes the fireball so good right now is because it hard counters those. So let's go into another replay. All right, let's break down another replay. We're going to go over this one the exact same way that we did the first one, but maybe a little bit more sped up since we've already kind of gone over everything a little bit more in depth. So again, I want to hit one of those targets or several of those targets if I can with my fireball, but trying to place my Warden far enough away from the town hall to where he's not going to go that direction if I can help it. So this Inferno seems like a really good option because I can kind of stick my Warden like over here. And what I'm going to do in order to make sure that my Warden goes this way instead of towards the town hall is I'm going to use a couple of rocket balloons to snipe this air defense. And then I'm just going to put a baby dragon right here because that's the only air targeting thing really in the area other than the archer tower. And the baby dragon and the rocket balloon are going to get some of these buildings here. And then by the time I launch my fireball, really all he can do is head that way, right? Now, this might seem like kind of a mediocre fireball because I'm really only going to get the Inferno, the Clan Castle, and the Fire Spitter, but I'm doing that on purpose and not getting this Builder Hut because in order to get the Builder Hut, I'd probably have to place my Warden closer this way, which risks him going towards the Town Hall, which I don't want. So again, let's go ahead and dive into this. We'll do it a little bit slowly. Now, I put my skeleton spell down first. This is some of the first times I'm actually raiding these bases. They're kind of new to me. So I didn't realize those Teslas were there. But one thing you can do, again, to save spell space is when you have the multi-archer tower targeting your Warden, use a rocket balloon or 2 in order to help distract it as well as do damage to take it down a little bit more quickly. That always helps because the multi-archer towers, I mean, they're no joke. If all 3 of the archers are attacking your Warden, they do so much damage. So you'll see me do that here again. And it gets a little close with my Warden maybe, but he gets here safe. Once this wizard tower is dead and the angry jelly wears off, I'm going to be worrying about these trash buildings. And so I'm just going to invis these 4 buildings with 1, these 4 with another, and then fireball that. And honestly, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to put another invis there just to be safe because I end up swagging an invis at the end of the raid anyway. So it's not like I needed it. But that one I feel like is a little bit more obvious that one's closer. I put a headhunter down for the queen, but she was actually locked onto the angry jelly, not my warden, which I thought was. And you can see, look at the baby dragon. Literally made it impossible for my warden to head towards the town hall. Now, right now, you can obviously see there are not too many buildings in between my heroes and the town hall. They're going to get to the town hall anyway, so it makes no sense to put your siege barracks here and then your heroes here. Just put your siege barracks over here, and that will help clear some of these buildings, and your heroes will head mid. So you don't always have to put your siege barracks like right next to where you're putting your heroes down, because again, there's just a bunch of trash buildings in the town halls. It's really not that scary, right? All right, let's keep going. Again, I'm always, before I start multitasking, I'm going to look ahead at my warden, and I know, okay, there's a queen and a ricochet cannon, but I've got a few seconds because there were some trash buildings down here at the bottom, so I knew I had 10 or 15 seconds before he was going to be in range of that. And so I did that, I dropped that, and then I look back at my warden, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to rage now so that I can start looking at other things as well. And I put a rocket balloon down or two just to maybe help weaken that ricochet cannon so it goes down a little bit faster for my warden, so I don't have to worry about it as much. And then I know I've got to kind of keep an eye on my warden for the rest of the time. I use a few rocket balloons to snipe the scary things that are going to be scary for my warden, right? Like that inferno, single inferno right there. And king and queen, they are kind of wrecking the middle of the base now. You could rage them if you wanted to, but there's really not a whole lot that they're going to get because they're going to have to bust through walls anyway, so that'd almost be useless. I'm going to go ahead and freeze the heroes here. Freezing the heroes is always a good idea. It can really surprise you how much damage, especially the minion prints, can do. So I freeze them, and then I know that I don't have to worry about it too much. I'm just going to let my queen die. She's not really going to get me a whole lot of value anyway. And then again, with my royal champion and my extra rocket balloons, I'm trying to figure out what's the scariest part of the base for my warden at this point. Not really right here, because I've got a rage and an invis if I need to use it there. The ricochet cannons are a little bit scary, the multi-arch tower, so I'm just going to use a whole bunch of rocket balloons right here just to take care of these two buildings so that I know that my warden's not going to have to deal with that eventually. And I'll just rage my warden right here again in just a second. I think I do. And I also had my poison that I used on the Royal Champion as well. So the Royal Champion's not very scary right now. Warden's raged up. He's not going to really be in any danger from the Ricochet Cannon or anything because he's got, I think I maybe misplaced the healers, but one Ricochet Cannon doesn't out DPS 5 normal healers on a Warden either. So as long as that's the only building. And you guys are going to see here again, I end up swagging the Royal Champion for a second time. So that's good. The raids are going really well today, at least on my basis. So hopefully this is how it does in Legend League. And an invis spell too. So again, with the fireball, it's better to expend extra resources to make sure it goes where you want it to. The risk is just not worth like trying to guess. Obviously, if you don't have enough invis spells, then you just kind of have to hope, right? But yeah, we swag the Royal Champion again. We swag an invis spell too. Let me try and see if I can come up with an example where the Warden does go towards the Town Hall, so I can show you what that looks like when he has to work with the heroes, because it's not always going to work out to where you can get him to go the opposite way, right? All right, so let's take a look at a replay where, I mean, obviously, if I can avoid it, I'd rather have my Warden head away from the Town Hall, but that's not always going to be the case. So this is an example of that. Obviously, the core is a really good fireball here. I think I get the Multi-Inferno Tower, which is going to clear like a lot of this stuff, and the Queen, ideally, if she's in the right area, right? So she'll get the fireball with the Queen and a whole bunch of really, really good defenses. And again, you can see the skeleton spell, even though it's in range of the multi-inferno tower, it is still distracting the scatter shot and the multi-archer tower so that my warden doesn't have to take all of those hits. So the skeleton spell, it's just such a valuable spell to have in this army to distract so that your warden doesn't have to use 2 or 3 invis spells and a rage or something like that. And I'm waiting for the angry jelly to wear off, which luckily enough for me, he gets the air defense here first, and then all I have to do is invis that mortar and that area there. And then we get a really good fireball. We do get the Queen. And obviously, at this point, he's going to head down towards the Town Hall, right? So basically what I'm going to do is just get him to go with my heroes into the core. And you guys will kind of see here in a minute why this still works and is still very strong, but it's not as good as if he was separate and kind of went up by himself. I think it's not as good. And you guys will kind of see here why in a minute. The heroes kind of die off anyway because the healers, the range of the king and the queen and the warden are all very different. And so the healers are really only going to be healing one of those targets. And so the healers become much less useful in this situation. And I invis here to try and keep the fire speed. You can see the earthquake boots was really, really good. And I'm going to try and keep my queen the magic mirror intact as long as I possibly can, because I know that I want her to go invisible and then have a bunch of DPS when I'm around that monolith and the 2 heroes on that back end. So I'm just going to let her just take these. I'm not going to pop her ability. And I want to make this easier for my Royal Champion, so I use a bunch of rocket balloons here so that the Royal Champion cannot waste as many shots. And then I invis. I probably didn't need to invis there. The Rage is probably good enough. The Royal Champion has the Phoenix as well, so even if the Royal Champion goes down, we still end up being okay there. And the reason I put the rocket balloons on that Ricochet Cannon is that's the only scary defense that my Queen did not have access to unless she broke through a wall. So that's why I chose to use all of my rocket balloons on that. And we get the Minion Prince down. I pop the Queen ability now. You can see this one. I mean, it's still kind of crushed, right? We still had a significant amount of time. I still have my Queen's very healthy. And I wasn't ever really worried about this not 3-starring, but you can see this was much, much closer than if I can keep my Warden separately, because then I can keep my healers alive. I can keep... that's another reason why the Warden going to the core is a bad idea. All the cores are trapped with red air bombs right now. And you can avoid that by going away from the Town Hall, right? Anyway, I feel like that's been a fairly good introduction to the attack. Let's go ahead and take everything that we've learned up to this point into Legend League and see if we can come away with a 320 day. All right, we are diving into hit number 1. Now, I do have a log launcher in this army, which I may have to use, but almost always you're going to use the siege barracks. Let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, this is a fairly easy base. This is one of the reasons why this attack is so good. I can literally just fireball the... I'm going to fireball the Ricochet Cannon on this side because it will get the Fire Spitter, and I don't think the other one does. But again, with the Angry Jelly, he'll just kind of come this way. And if you put your Warden down fast enough, boom, don't even have to worry about the Teslas popping up. That's a little trick if you didn't know that. Let's go ahead and put my heroes on the other side right now. And this is actually one where I will use the log launcher, because there is an invis tower in the middle. Now, I need to keep an eye on my Warden because the monolith is going to be there soon, right? So just keeping an eye out for that. Okay, we're going like completely not near the monolith at all, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Ooh, let's invis. Okay, we should get the Queen to the core. We're actually going to rage the Queen. We're going to freeze right here too. I hope the Queen can get the Town Hall. Oh, I dropped another invis on accident. What was I doing? Where is my actual Queen? Okay, well, we're going to send the Royal Champion in for the Town Hall because this plan's not working out very well, but that's totally fine. Pop the Earthquake Boots. If I had funneled my King to the middle, we would have been able to swag my Royal Champion this raid, but since I didn't, we can't. Royal Champion will die, but she'll get the Town Hall because, one, she's got the Phoenix, so even if she does die, it doesn't really matter. But, I mean, you can see I've got an extra Invis spell, and 3 heroes are still alive, and a bunch of time. And the red air bomb, they're always near the Town Hall right now, so another reason why I like to have my Warden go away from the Town Hall. I probably won't include all of my Legend League hits today for obvious reasons. That would make the video like 50 minutes long. I don't think anybody wants that, so I'll include some of them, but I'll let you know how I go at the end of the day if I don't include them all. All right, we are diving into hit number 2. Yeah, the Invis Tower near the Town Hall, that doesn't really worry me that much. And this might be one base where it doesn't make sense to get the Clan Castle. I might just get the Fire Spitter, one of the Fire Spitters. One, then my Warden doesn't have to worry about the Town Hall area. But 2, I feel like he's safer over here. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to wait until he's going to be about in range of the Ricochet Cannon. 1 Expo is not the biggest deal in the world, right? I actually might... Wow, we just drew every... We're Seeking Air Mine in the game. That was pretty good. We got the building and I'm going to use my Baby Dragon to create a funnel for my Warden, right? So my Warden doesn't go to the Town Hall. That's ideally what will happen, hopefully, anyway. Let's go to a scatter shot next, please. Yes. Perfect. Once the scatter shot's dead, wow, there's every seeking air mine. Wow, literally every air mine in the world is right there. Let's put my one wizard here. What do I need to invis? Do I just need to invis here? I think that's it. Yeah, that's a good fireball. After that building, he should go up, and then I'll have my heroes worry about going down. Yeah, let's do that. I'm actually going to wall break right here. We'll put one headhunter in for the queen. And then I will put my siege barracks down on this side. We'll put a giant down to tank for that. That's why I have the giant in the army, by the way. Is to help tank for the... dude, what in the... Oh, my... Dude, this guy wanted to bait me so hard. Okay, I'm keeping an eye on my Warden, too, now. Hopefully we can get that fire spitter before it becomes really annoying. Let's rage these guys, too. Perfect. Now I need to keep an eye on the single Inferno. Scariest part for my Warden is going to be those ricochet cannons right over there. Oh, perfect. We're getting that Inferno. We're going to get that multi-archer tower with that. And I have an extra wall breaker. Let's put a headhunter down for the... Okay, and then again, ricochet cannon. We're just going to deal with the scariest stuff for my Warden with the rocket balloons and the Royal Champion, right? That's what my goal is with those. Obviously, the Teslas don't bother me at all, so I'm not even going to worry about them. We've got 5 rocket balloons and a whole bunch of spells that we're going to swag. This army is just so good right now. It really just is. I mean, even this base wasn't, I would say, hard counter by the fireball, but you can just make it work, right? Just... keep your Warden separate from your heroes if you can, and keep them away from the town hall. That really does make the attack so much easier, I think. We're diving in to Legend League hit number 3. I didn't just butcher that. You guys heard wrong. Fireball. So I might just put it like at, what is that, 9 o'clock-ish? Maybe a little bit up. But Fireball the Fire Spitter, because that will get both Fire Spitters, the Clan Castle, both of the Expos. I will have to deal with the Minion Prince kind of on my way there, but that's not a big deal. And there's not very many defenses or other things on the way to the Town Hall, so this becomes not very scary. I'm going to put my... I know some people are going to be like, you just put your skeleton spell right in front of the multi-inferno. But look, it's still distracting. It's still doing its job, so ha! That's all I have to say. Did its job. You see that? Okay, we're going to be walking up towards those fire spitters, and I'm hoping that the Angry Jelly wears off at a really good time. We are going to... Okay, perfect. Let's put one Valkyrie here, just to clear those 2 buildings, too. Oh! Baby Dragon. Oh! Is the Minion Prince in range of my Warden? No, okay, alright. Great fireball. Boom. Excellent start to the raid. And honestly, that gold storage might actually make my Warden go towards the town hall, which I really don't want. We're just going to have to put the siege barracks down now. Oh, Warden. Okay. Well, I probably didn't need to rage. That was probably a waste. Obviously, we're going to have them all combine here, which is unfortunate. I have a freeze and some invis spells and things to help keep things alive, right? So hopefully the invis isn't too scary. Oh, that was the worst wall break of all time. Probably just put my Royal Champion over there on that back end area. Okay, let's wall break now. Let's rage everybody. Try and keep my Warden alive. Oh, if I can. Nope, that's not gonna work. Okay, pop the Earthquake Boots and Spiky Balls. This is why I hate it when my Royal Champion goes, or my Warden goes to the Town Hall area. And trying to figure out where I can put my... I have no good wall breaks. No good way to get into these walls. We are just going to... Oh, and all of the Teslas are over there? Okay, we're just going to have to pop the Spiky Ball, or the Rocket Spear right now. Okay, let's see if we can get that. We can obviously poison the heroes on the back end. The Royal Champion by herself isn't going to be that scary. So yeah, put the headhunters down now. Oh, did it just wreck all of them? No, okay, good. Okay, we still might be okay. Let's get some of those defenses. We're going to have to rage the Royal Champion, rage her again, because we're going to struggle with time here. It's probably going to be my main thing. Please. Okay, we do get that scatter shot down. That's actually huge, and we're going to get the Tesla down too. We have 10 seconds left. Those are the only buildings, correct? Wow, this one was really close, but you guys can see. Oh, is that actually not going to... We get the triple. Oh my gosh. That was really close. Again, that's why I don't like when my warden goes to the town hall. Wow, that was really close. What the? I'm going to have to watch that replay and find out like just how many seconds I had left, because that was like, I thought for sure I was going to fail there right at the very end. Whew. All right, we are on to the next attack. Let's go ahead and break it down. Now, the base like this, a fairly easy fireball that's fairly risk-free to my warden is going to be that scatter shot. That's going to get, wow, actually like a lot. This is like where it's almost worse to have the angry jelly on, because the ricochet cannon would die anyway. Maybe I'll get the fire spitter. That's what I'll do. I'll get the fire spitter on the left-hand side. And on this base, we're going to be getting the core so much that I don't know that it's going to matter a whole lot that I... Ooh, let's freeze both of these. I really don't want to rage. I really hate raging, and I don't want to waste an invisibility spell if I don't have to. So I want to be as conservative as I can with these spells. And actually, we might be getting that multi-arch tower next. Oh, really? Nice. Perfect. Then we can put 2 invis spells down and get that fire spitter. That's going to get a lot of value. And man, I almost wish that my warden would head up. I don't think that's going to happen. Let's put 3 rocket balloons down. Actually, it might. Let's wall break here. Perfect. Okay. So again, I'm looking ahead. Warden's going to be safe for a little bit, so let's go ahead and put everything down here. And I'm going to have to probably pop my earthquake earthquake boots and spiky ball in and around like that ricochet cannon there in the middle. Okay, let's go ahead and put a headhunter down. I think we should be okay to not have to use a spell here. Yep, perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and rage the Warden. You're scaring me a little bit. Go ahead and invis you. Get that town hall down nice and quick. That way we don't have to worry about it. And then the monolith should be next. Oh, it's actually targeting my real queen. That's really unfortunate. But we've got the royal champion right. We're not too worried yet. Let's go ahead and just put her down here, because the monolith is going to be the scariest part for my warden, I think, right now. And I just want to deal with the monolith. Oh, we actually get the fire spitter down before. That's really good. And monolith goes down. And I'll just rage my warden. That way I know my warden lives. The royal champion's, I mean, she's got the phoenix, so I'm not too worried about her. And yeah, this one will be, we've got 10 rocket balloons I still haven't used yet that I probably won't need to use. And we crush it. So still perfect for the day. Let's go ahead and just spam all these guys down. And we'll keep continuing on. All right, next attack. Here we go. Man, if I could get the actual rage tower itself, that would be a very good fireball. So I'm probably going to try and make that happen. That gets the clan castle, as well as a whole bunch of other really good stuff. And it kind of makes it easy for my warden to head the direction I want him to, which is away from the town hall. So let's go ahead and get started. Probably what I'm going to do is put him down right here. I'm going to just get that ricochet cannon out of the way so that the warden will not head that direction. And we're going to put a baby dragon right here to funnel my warden to the left. Now, whenever this royal champion decides to lock onto me, perfect. We'll go ahead and put the headhunter down. Be good to go. Oh, please tell me you die. Oh, okay, good. Don't draw the CC. We will rage here because there are enough defenses to where it's not going to be a huge deal. We're going to have to use 3 invis spells here. Perfect. Excellent. Fireball. We're going to head that way with the Warden. Again, I'm looking in advance. I'm going to just put the skeleton spell down before because I didn't need to use it earlier. And I know I said that it helps to put the siege barracks kind of on the other side of the town hall in situations like this, but there is enough stuff there. I've got like the heroes and whatnot that I don't want to have to deal with that. And the skeleton spell wears off, but we can rage the Warden now, and he should be fine. Unless I totally whiff the... Okay, let's rage you guys right through here. Let's get that town hall down. And I'm going to start putting some balloons down over here to encourage my Warden to go in towards that fire spitter. That's going to be the goal there. And we're going to pop the earthquake boots here in just a second. I would like to get a little closer. Okay, we open up enough walls. That feels good for me. Warden's going to die, actually, but not the worst thing in the world because we do have the Royal Champion still. And we can actually just poison you. And honestly, I'm trying to think if I can even swag my Royal Champion. We might not be able to, but... yeah, probably not. Wish we could, but that's probably not going to be the case. It's close. Queen's going to be just a little bit too unable. And again, I mean, almost swagging the Royal Champion, so we crushed this base. Still got a bunch of time left. And we're going to go deal with these last couple of buildings here, and we are 6 for 6 so far today. So, you can see when you run out of spells, it really hurts your Warden's ability to stay alive, like down here in this little section here, which is why you have to be efficient with your spell usage earlier on in the raid. I probably could have, like I swagged that skeleton spell a little bit, probably could have put it down a little bit later. But I mean, we get the triple, right? So that's just kind of being really nitpicky. All right, so this is going to be the last attack. Again, I'm probably not going to include every attack from Legend League today because then the video would be forever long. Honestly, I might just get the monolith. Or I can even get the poison tower. Wait, 1, 2... no, okay, I have to get the monolith. Wow, there's a hole in the base right there. Yeah, I still think the monolith is probably going to be my best bet. We're going to put the Warden a little bit off-centered. And we'll put our little skeleton spell down to help tank for the Warden. Let's go ahead and clear this wizard tower. Yep, that's what you call it. Is the king? Okay, king aggroed onto there. So let's go ahead and deal with the king, I guess. We'll put a wizard behind. Ooh, I might have to rage my Warden. Yeah, let's do it. Really hope that headhunter doesn't draw the CC. Oh, okay, that was close. I didn't make a weird noise. You guys heard nothing. Okay. Okay, we're going to clear one more building. Poison tower gets drawn onto the Angry Jelly. Not the biggest deal. 1, 2, 3. I think after that we should be okay. 1, 2. Actually, oh yeah, I have to invis this too. Okay, good fireball. And this, when you're on the opposite side of the base of the town hall, just whatever direction my Warden decides to head, I'm just going to put my heroes on the opposite side. It looks like we're probably going to head up, but I want to be sure before I start putting things down. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, keep an eye on my Warden. Nothing too scary for just a bit. Okay, we're good. Let's go ahead and pop a headhunter in there. Okay, that should be a good time to sneak a... oh, just kidding. Let's freeze here. Whoa, that was... oh, I really actually lost my Warden? I can't believe that. Okay, we trigger the invis, which I guess is good. We're going to put the Royal Champion here to maybe push my Queen to the middle of the base. Really hoping she can deal with that Ricochet Cannon without having to pop her ability. That would help me a lot. Oh, I was hoping I could tank that. we've got her ability, right? So worst case scenario. Yeah, this probably isn't going to be a 3-star. That's really so sad. The last base. Okay, let's go ahead and raid you. You're like literally my only hope, so. Just going to put a bunch of cleanup down. This honestly might be a time fail. Oh, and it might actually not. Oh my gosh, please. Rocket balloons, hurry. Oh, it's going to be so close. It's like that one raid all over again. 8, 7, 6, 5. I think we got it. We're going to go 320 today by the skin of my teeth. 2 different raids, but I did screw this one up pretty bad. I should have kept my Warden alive. I should have been a little bit more preemptive with the spells, but let's show you. We go 320 today, apparently, but we do. And that's going to do it. If you guys have any questions about the attack, let me know in the comments section. And that's going to do it for this video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that.